Sounding good as always. Hello, welcome. I'm going to invite you to come on in from the family room. Reverend Debbie McDonald and I just have a few announcements before we get going this morning. I'm going to start off with some of our holiday offerings. We've got lots of stuff coming up for the holidays. We're in full form here. The first one I'm going to tell you about is our candlelight service. It's our 29th candlelight service. Can you believe that? We started when we were just babies, all of us, yes, right? And if you haven't been to a candlelight service at Seaside, I invite you to come on out. It's a whole bunch of fun. It's a lovely night. We open the door. We've got all sorts of people here, and it's just a great time. Bring a plate of cookies to share and stay afterwards and have some sweets, but it's a good old time. Bring the family, bring your friends. That's Sunday, the 22nd at 7 o'clock. So Sunday evening. And then on Christmas Day, the 25th, Dr. Christina Tillotson, one of our ministers here at Seaside, she does all of our holiday offerings, and she did the Thanksgiving, and now coming up, she'll be doing Christmas and New Year's Eve. On Christmas Day, there's a service, and then there's a meal as well, and some sing-along, I understand, this year. Sully is here somewhere. She's our volunteer coordinator. She'll be out at the table in the family room after service if you want to find out more about how you can volunteer, or if you can bring some food, or just how you can show up and how that's working. See Sully. Also on New Year's Eve, Dr. Tillotson does the burning bowl ceremony. It's a lovely time to kind of finish up 2019, release that which you want to release, and welcome in the new for 2020. Dr. Tillotson does it at 7 o'clock, so you still have time to go out to your New Year's Eve parties afterwards. So put those things on your calendars and come on and share with your Seaside family. Wednesday evenings, we've been doing the Wednesday evening ritual service with Dr. Christian. It's a lovely time to come together. This Wednesday evening, Dr. Christian will be here. The following Wednesday will be both Christian and his beautiful wife, Callie, and some others coming together to do a solstice celebration. And then there's going to be a little bit of a break until January 8th on the Wednesday night. But before I go any further, I am going to ask Callie to come up and talk to you about that and her Seaside Sister Ministry.
I love having you back on our stage. I love you. Good morning. Well, the Seaside Sisters have 2 offerings for you, and they're all inclusive, which means they're not just for the women this time. So the first one that you heard about will be the next Sunday. Oh, you haven't heard about it yet. Next Sunday, we're doing a Care to Share program, and it's called the Holiday Bazaar. And a Care to Share is programs that I've been doing for quite some time that is about repurposing, recycling, and being more of a conscious consumer. This one is called the Holiday Bazaar, and it's all about arts and crafts and donating your handmade items for the good of our teens and our kids. And then we're going to shop, but there's no prices on any of the art or any of the crafts. They're just about a loving exchange, what I call a sacred exchange donation. And all of the donations for these arts and crafts will help our teens go to camp. Now, I joyously create just for the joy of creating, and it's only fun to do so when I know that I can gift somebody with them. So there'll be all kinds of arts and crafts and things that have been donated. And doing that for your shopping is a whole new conscious way to be a Christmas consumer. And then that Wednesday, Christian and I are combining the masculine and the feminine energies to take that time in ritual and ceremony and to call in the light and the dark on the night. It won't actually be on the solstice. It'll be the 18th, right before the solstice. And we're going to have some special music, and we're going to do ritual. We're going to do ceremony, and we're going to take that time to just be and unite the feminine and masculine energies together, and then we're going to have a special reception afterwards. So I invite you to come to be part of that with Christian and I on the 18th as well. Happy holidays.
So there's absolutely no reason to feel alone during this holiday season. Come on out and be with your Seaside family. There's so many things going on. On Saturday the 14th, Kay Samuelson is doing the breath workshop at 3 o'clock. And today and on the 13th, our Seaside carolers are going out caroling. So if you're interested in doing some caroling, no previous music experience necessary. You can just come today and see Gary Powell. Is he here? No, no, no. And just meet here at 1 o'clock, and you'll go out caroling with everybody. Come a little bit earlier to get to know everybody. And today we have a wonderful workshop. Happy Endings is what it is called, and it's about making your transition, about the different ways and the different options that we have at end of life. We have two wonderful facilitators, Reverend Catherine Bonin and Eileen Pierce here. They're in the back there. Wave, girls. If you have any questions, please see them. That workshop is today. They are offering it as a love offering, so please don't let money stop you from coming. It's open to everybody. There is lunch being offered after service for those that want to just stay and have lunch and then go to the workshop. I believe it's $10 lunch, and so that's over there in our cafeteria. So that's happening today. And last but not least, we have a teen fundraiser going on. In addition to the Care to Share program, our teens are out in our family room today gathering money and fundraising for camp so they can all attend teen camp, which is a wonderful, beautiful memory that our young adults have that went to teen camp. It's something they talk about forever. And at this time, what I'd like to do is I'd like to invite our practitioner out who's holding the light, our practitioner, Ed Cox. Ed is a longtime practitioner here at Seaside. He does a lot of our, he does all our computer stuff. He's our IT guy, and we really couldn't manage without him. So grateful for him being part of our Seaside family. But what our practitioner does is our practitioner holds the light. You might wonder, what the heck does that mean, holding the light? And they're holding the consciousness. They're anchoring us in consciousness and just filling our sanctuary with that love and that light. So we always have a practitioner in that chair. Please know that our practitioners are available for prayer after service. Please don't leave here with anything on your heart. Our practitioners are available for prayer in our chapel. You can put a written prayer request in the prayer request chest, and that's distributed confidentially and prayed over for a few weeks. So please know it is our practitioners' joy to pray for you and with you. But what I'd like to ask you to do now is to please stand and greet your neighbor, and please remain standing for the congregational song.
For our congregational song, and it's a song that I know we all know. It's got a bit of a call and response. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love, oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Well, let me know that love is all around.
Rebecca. Hey, your dress matches the flowers.
Yeah, this is a poinsettia red.
Oh, yeah, I could tell.
I made that up just now.
No, that was good. Well, hey, you out playing last night?
I was. I did a private, my second holiday party.
Already? Early?
Already, and we were in Long Beach.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of fun.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But not with Sheila. I was just another band.
Yeah, well, Sola.
Don't tell Sheila.
Oh, no, yeah. Yeah, well, she's got to share you.
That's true.
Starting with us, top of the list. We like that. Anyway, hey, good morning, Seaside. Woo, what a joy it is to be with you on this wonderful, blustery kind of morning, holiday-ish for sure. And it's a joy to be here with you in this holiday season, and just welcome to a thriving spiritual community that inspires us to live our divinity. How we doing with that? Oh, nice. Well, then don't hesitate to take out your phone and let people know where you are and where it's happening, where it's going on. You're welcome to do that at Seaside, to check in and let people know that we got great music going on. We've got some fresh holiday songs. I haven't heard those before. And it's a lot of fun, and we believe it's spirit first always. So to take us a little bit deeper is a wonderful practitioner of many years of Seaside, and that is Victoria Wood.
Good morning, everyone. So let's just close our eyes and take a little moment to move into the stillness. And within the stillness, there is a resonance that is so palatable. And this I call spirit. Spirit is everything. Spirit resides in every single aspect of life. And I see and sense and know this as I gaze upon the little children of this holiday season, watching their smiles as they run and dance and skip, waiting in anticipation. And I also see this and sense spirit as I light my candle each moment, each morning, feeling and sensing the deep gratitude and the peace and the awareness that arises in the stillness. And with all these gifts of the holiday season, I get to experience all of this through all aspects of my life, for I know that I am all that. I get to express the joy, the unconditional love, the beauty, the serenity, the giving and receiving, the joys, and the forgiveness.
Blessings and grace, love overflowing, joy in this place. Spirit is showing blessings and grace. My
Thank you, Rebecca. I think that song's in my DNA. It's just like, when you hear it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Victoria, for anchoring us in prayer so beautifully. Welcome, welcome. I want to especially welcome anybody who is here for the first time. Please know that we honor all paths to God. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you're welcome here. We have a special package for you if it is your first time here with us. We have a welcome package. You can pick it up in the family room by the doors when you enter. And inside of it, there's a CD with some basic beliefs from Dr. Christian. There's a coupon for some goodies at the hospitality table and some information about who we are. Read it, check it out, see if we're a good match for you. We'd love to see you again. Most importantly, stay after. Have some coffee and tea and let us get to meet you and say hello to you. We look forward to getting to know you. So welcome, welcome. I have a reading today for you from Christian Larson. He's one of our early New Thought teachers, and the last few years I have been really enthralled with some of our early teachers and reading lots of people that I had never read before and finding so much truth, in those early teachers that talk really about the absolute power of the one and of healing and all of those things that we talk about so much here in Science of Mind. So Dr. Christian's talk today is God's Gifts, and I have this reading for you. It's titled, Leave It to God. When we place our lives and our affairs under the direction of infinite wisdom, everything will be taken care of perfectly. There can be neither misstep nor error at such a time, and no ill can come nigh our dwelling. Infinite wisdom can guide and protect to the utmost. The best will come to pass, and all things will work out in the most harmonious and most successful manner. Our problems will be solved, and we will accomplish what we have in view. We will find what we seek, and our desire will be realized. Our needs will be provided for promptly and adequately, and whatever our activities and aspirations may be, the outcome will be all that we could possibly wish for. It must be so, for God is not limited in any way. God does not postpone his goodness. When we place our lives and our affairs under the direction of infinite wisdom, everything will change for the better. Troubles and ills will decrease and then vanish completely. Obstacles will be removed and the way cleared for the achievements and the demonstrations that we have in mind. Adversity will be transformed, and that which was against us will be for us. The crooked will be made straight, and all our activities will be brought into adjustment with divine law. All of this and vastly more of like nature we may expect when we leave it to God, when we place our lives and our affairs under the care and guidance of the Spirit. I invite you to just take those words within. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. Just knowing and feeling and sensing that one power and that one presence, that is God, that is good, that is love. Knowing that that is all that there is only this one expressing in, through, and as all things. There is not God and anything else. There is only Spirit. That is all that's happening here. Spirit made manifest in, through, and as each one of us. And I'm knowing for today, for this service, that it unfolds perfectly in divine order, that Spirit moves through Dr. Christian, that he is a vessel of the divine, that Spirit moves and expresses in the most magnificent way, that Spirit speaks and sings through our musicians, knowing that they are the hands of God, the voice of God here on this planet. And I know for each one here in the sound of my voice that their lives are unfolding perfectly in divine order, that Spirit goes before them and makes straight any crooked places, that there's absolute divine love moving in, through, and as each one. So grateful to be part of this spiritual community, so grateful to be part of Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, knowing that we are making a difference in the world, that what we do here reaches out into our community and into the world. So grateful to be part of it all. And with a heart full of joy and gratitude for the gifts that we've been given, I simply release these words into the divine nature of the law, knowing that it is already done. It's already complete. There's nothing left for us to do but just allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Ooh, what a good start. Good morning. Good morning, Seaside. It is my honor to introduce our guest artist, and we love when this beautiful being comes down here all the way from Los Angeles to be here with us. She's not only a very creative spirit musically, but also creates with her hands. So she makes jewelry. So if you're moved by her music this morning, please see her after the service at the table and support her by buying CDs or jewelry that she creates. So without further ado, help me welcome Margaret Owens.
In an old twin bed in my grandma's house, in the room upstairs I wait. Reindeer on the roof and the sound of sleigh bells that I anticipate. I've been told that I gotta be fast asleep, or the big man he won't show. I've circled everything I want in the Sears catalog, so it's off to dreams I go. 'Cause I wanna be wild, wanna be blown away by the stockings overflowing on Christmas Day. And the fire in the hearth is warm in the room, almost as much as my grandfather's love. I'm wrapped up in the magic of the moment. The family gathered round and our hearts aglow. I can picture it in my mind oh so clearly, and I believe so off to sleep I go. Well, I'm older now, and my eyes are blurry, but my heart, it sees just fine. When I rest my gaze on the many blessings and the magic that is mine. It's a miracle that grass can grow and flowers bloom and the sun hangs in the sky. That the smallest light can illumine the darkest room, and I've still got dreams to try. And I wanna be wild, wanna be blown away by all the moments I create today. I could sit on my ass, I could let the day pass, but it seems a shame to throw this gift away. Will I bring the same belief in childhood wonder to the grown-up games I choose to play? The joy of giving and receiving be witness for just on Christmas Day. Twinkling lights get multiplied every time you cross your eyes, and your power is in the present, just the way the word implies. I'm talking about being there for others, speaking to them even in your dreams. I'm telling you to be the love in your life when the world is going to extremes. Keep remembering the magic is within you. The day is yours to do with what you will. Take a moment to get quiet and be still. Just be still. Let yourself be wowed, be blown away by all the love that flows through you today. And as far as your dreams, all your hopes and desires, you've got all you need and more than you require to light up the sky, to love brave and strong, no matter if the world tells you you're wrong. Remembering the wonder of
This is Margaret Owens. Oh my, bringing us one of those new Christmas tunes. I gotta tell you, I love those songs that say you will be wowed and blown away. Now that's the Christmas spirit I love. You believe in those miracles. Oh man, it just makes me feel good and chilly inside. That little child in me is just loving that. So thank you. Today we're talking about God's gifts, and we really began this last week when it was like getting our belief in place, getting our sense, and getting rid of the stress so we can enjoy the holiday season. And as I shared last week's message, a woman came up and shared with me about the stress of the holidays and, how she has to find the perfect gift and all that it takes to create that holiday meal. And she is just amazed how she looks forward to the hustle and the bustle. It's like, really? And then she went on to share that her husband embraces the season by becoming Scrooge. And it's like, okay, you guys can go in that direction if you want. And I was, preparing for this, looking at Christmas stories. I saw a writing from Irma Bombeck. And she wrote, it's amazing how adults can take a simple childhood holiday and screw it up. What would be a simple gift for a child to stir up delight and fun and surprise around a tree has culminated with a woman getting 6 little shrimp forks given to her by her dog who drew her name. It's like, really, is that what we have evolved to here? And so the line that's out there is, if you don't have Christmas in your heart, you're not going to find it under the tree. And so as we begin to prepare our heart and our soul for the miracle, because we have chosen to believe, Spirit goes into action. We've opened ourselves up to receive the gifts of God. And there was this one by the name of Elisa Morgan. She was the president and CEO of a company called MOPS, I guess. And she shares the story of how she and her husband had been attempting to adopt a baby. And they were part of a group, and it had been some time, and they hadn't received one. And there were only two families left within this particular adoption group that hadn't received placement of a baby. And they got a call from the other couple on December 21st. She remembered the day really well. And the other couple received the placement of a baby, and they were the only ones left that had not received the Christmas gift that they were looking for. And so she said she rolled up her spiritual sleeves. She went out and got a little tree, and she called it her baby hope tree. She tied little pink ribbons on it and little blue ribbons on it and put in there, and she would sit in front of it all day and just pray and pray for that baby. And then she got the call just before Christmas, excited to pick up the call, and ended up getting the hard news that there wasn't going to be a baby for Christmas, and devastated and crushed. They'd been trying for 5 months. But by Easter, they had received the placement of their first child, a little girl, and then by July, blistering heat, they had the placement of a second baby. And what she came to realize is, though she did not receive that child on Christmas Day, she recognized that God had answered her prayers because that baby was growing within the womb of her birth mother. And though she didn't know, she needed to continue to believe. And sometimes when you're waiting is when God is doing the work and doing the preparation for us to receive. And so every holiday, Christmas after that, she would put out the tree and put on the pink ribbon and the blue ribbon as baby hope tree, and would tell her kids the story, how much they wanted. And for 5 years they prayed for their arrival. As the kids got older, little Eva would put the pink ribbons on, and Ethan would put the blue ribbons on. And now they're in their 20s, and they still come home and they want to see the little baby hope tree just to remember the magic of believing. And that is, what Margaret was singing about, the magic that comes when you believe, or the miracles. So I want us just to get that it is so much easier just to believe in miracles. Rather than having these concepts as to why it can't work out, or this is what I'm seeing is it's not working out, and trying to convince God that it's not working out and Spirit is not providing. Remember that if I have put it out there, that I've got to continue to believe in that miracle, as opposed to fill my head with a lot of garbage and facts that don't support what my heart desires. You know, Mark Twain said the trouble with the world is not that people believe, that people know too little. The problem is that people know too much that isn't so. You know, I know so. The baby's not coming. This gift isn't coming. This isn't going to work out. I'm telling you, it is a lot easier to believe in a miracle than to come up with the facts that it's not working here. And so to remember that the gifts of God are looking for distribution points, and you are the distribution point. That you are that gift of God, and that when you get a hunch, when you get an inkling, when you get an aha, a stirring of the soul, the kindling in your bath, it's spirit, it is creativity. It's looking at speaking through you, expressing through you, and having its way for you, because it is coming from that kingdom of God. It is coming from that deeper place. It is looking for the wellspring, that conduit in which it can come into this earth, to this world. You're that gift. You are that gift. Don't let anyone or anything deny that spirit or life is not working on your behalf. You are its distribution point of the greater good, but you're the one who's got to believe that that kingdom of God is at hand. And I know religions try to articulate it, and philosophers try to explain it, and science tries to show the order of it all, but there's something that cannot even begin to be put into words, and it is looking for you to be the believer of the miracle, because you are the gift in your life. You are that place in which it is happening. And this world, this space, this essence, this kingdom is as real as our taste and our sight and the sound and our touch and our feel, if not more real, because what's said is, and this world shall pass. But this is the space that remains. It is real. It is continuous. It is there. It is happening. It is looking to come through you as you. You are the place for it to happen. And, you know, we look at the Jesus story this time of the year about a guy who was so connected with that place, with that vibration, with that energy, with God, with life. You can call it what you want, but here's a man who exemplified a connection that was so good that we call it the Christ consciousness. And when we talk about consciousness, we're talking about awareness. We're not saying, hey, this was like the exception to the rule. Here is an individual who said, look at, man, what I can do, you can do too. You know, I'm the light, you're the light. You know, those that see me, see that which sent me, sees that. And that's what is seeking to birth itself in our life. This is the miracle I want us to believe in. This is the gift that you are. And you are being called to bring that forth into your world. When there is question whether it can be, you get to be the positive light. You know, when you are positive, you are beginning to be a distribution for something greater than you. And when you are living with a sense of fullness of joy and fun, and light, you become a space of positivity, if you would. You are the sun of the constellation of your friends, your family, your colleagues. You are that light that is reminding people that life is fun, that life is joy. You are the deliverer of the gift. You are the reminder of that kingdom that is always available to come forth. It just takes someone to be that, so people say, oh yeah, that's right. That's the way it is. I get it. You know, people, we read about it, you know, in the wonderful spiritual literature, or listening to, you know, the mystics. You know, that story is a man who was a mystic, who, you know, mysticism is like the guy Jesus, who had such a clear connection that he became that. That's what mysticism is, and that is what we're doing, is we're working on becoming to that place. And when we hear people who have been there, when they speak, there's such a conviction that comes forth. They go, yeah, I remember. There's something that becomes activated in me. That's the gift you get to be when you're in the sun and the constellation of your friends. You are that activating point for those individuals to remember. And as we read the spiritual literature and we hear these spiritual things, they're not the truth, right? They are to remind us. And we are the ones that must come to that place of the experience, because, you know, it's just on paper. You know, what good is eating, you know, some pulp and black ink? You know, it doesn't do anything. But it's a seed that is planted, that wants to germinate, that wants to grow and come forth through you. It's a fresh idea. It is a God idea. It is to lead you forward to be the light to the world. Now, When I went to Bali, it was a long time ago. It was between leaving Hawaii and before coming to San Diego. So it was 30 years ago. And at that time, and I haven't been back, so I can't tell you, but at that time, it was like one of the happiest places on earth. Disneyland stole its cliche from Bali, this island. Happiest place on, people were smile, they loved life. There was a belief that after you've lived all, the Hindu philosophy there, after you've lived all your incarnations, your last one, you get to go to Bali. And live it there. You know, it was a dirt road down the main part of town at Kuta Beach. It was just dirt road and people selling things on the side of that road. It was a magical place and time, and they had a philosophy that when a child comes into this world, and I love this, when a child comes into the world, they consider it an angel has dropped in. And they believe how important it is to keep that baby's feet off the heaviness of this earth, at least for the first 150 days. For about 5 months, this baby gets passed from person to person, and they lay it down wherever it is, but it never gets to put its feet onto the ground until 150 days. And then they have this big, colorful celebration of this child or this angel who is now touching down on earth for the first time. And I think, wow, that is a beautiful way in which to come into this world. Because in our culture, when we come into this world, it's usually under bright lights. Kind of like this. In that room, under bright lights, often drugs involved with the scenario, and a little smack on the bottom to get us going. And then they take that little child pretty quickly away from mom and put it in the nursery. Like, excuse me, you talk about trauma. And then when you show up, you're pretty much divided, cut out from half the people in the world. The first words you hear is, it's a boy, or it's a girl, which is labeling you, saying, about 50% you're in with, 50% you're out with. How many of us, when we heard into this world, we came in and said, wow, it's the light that has arrived. Wow, here's a divine expression. Whoa, look at this angel that has dropped in. And so what we're working on is to being born again. And I want you to get that you are divine, that you are that angel, that you are that gift, and that you are a blessing to all of us who is walking this world and who's experiencing it. In the past, I've talked so much about negative things from the past, but also even the good things we've had in the past, they're yesterday. I mean, you may have had this mountaintop mystical experience that was just incredible years ago. That's nice. Good for you. But you're here today. I mean, if you're still talking your psychedelic experiences from years ago, it's about today. And the blessings are looking to seek and express in your life. And those past experiences are what have led you to this moment for the greater yet to be. You've had the gifts, or you haven't had the gifts, but you are the gift. And so you've got to work on remembering that. So often what happens is people attempt to persuade God. Okay, God, this is what I need. This baby, it's the 21st December, I need it in the next 5 days. Forgetting that the miracle has already happened, that God's work is gestating within the womb of the divine. Yeah, but I don't see it. I'm not believing. You can't persuade God because, as Ernest Holmes tells us, it's all been given. Whatever you're looking for, it's already been given. And so what we want to do is create the space so we can be receptive to it, which is kind of the whole manger story. They came and there wasn't any space for the birth of the Christ consciousness, or there wasn't any space for the baby to be born. There isn't any space in our mind because we've taken the difficult approach. We're no longer going with the ease of believing in miracles. We've got our mind filled, as Mark Twain says, with too much stuff that just isn't so. And people have chosen what they felt is the easy route, which is the human pain, the human struggle. It's just a lot easier to not have our life work than it is to, go on the spiritual track that says resist not evil, turn the other cheek. those kinds of things. I assume we have taken this human approach because for some reason we feel it's easier than it is to resist not evil, to give up the eye for an eye or revenge, rather than being a divine gift. For some reason we have assumed struggle is the easier way. I don't know why, but I can't imagine us choosing the more difficult way, at least in our thinking. But it takes work to stand before the atrocities or the difficulties or the fears or the headlines and have our manger crowded with the garbage of this world. And I'm not going to believe in the miracles. I'm going to believe in all these things that just aren't true. See, you are the sun and the constellation of your environment and your friends, and you get to bring the new thought, which is what we're about, this new thought movement. You can find it all the way back to Emerson's days. This new thought is not a new thought. It's ancient wisdom, but it's being applied to our present human experiences, which makes it a new thought and a new possibility, and you are the giver of that. You are the conduit of that infinite spiritual kingdom that is seeking to come through, which is why we're talking about you being the mystic, the Christ expression, that gift for humanity, because you're needed at this time more than ever before. And it's time to stop taking the easy human way out, because as long as you are living as a physical human being in this human realm, you're operating under the laws of man, woman, the human laws. But when you begin to recognize yourself as that angel who entered into this earth experience, and that you are the divine expressing, you begin to live under the laws of the kingdom of God. And all the blessings and everything are added unto that. No matter where you've gone, no matter how full the manger is, no matter how many mistakes you may have made, the gift of God is ever available. There's got to be room. You got to believe in that miracle. Be willing to be wowed and blown away. Yeah, it's TV. There's a TV talk show. Candy. She was this 21-year-old, looked very hard, prostitute, and her story was that her mom had left her on the corner of L.A. with $20 in her hand at the age of 14. And left her, and the girl never made it home again after that. And you're looking at her face is hardened. It looks twice her age, though it's a tender age at 21. And the producers had arranged. They had found her father, who Candy loved dearly but hadn't seen for years and years, and they arranged for him to come out onto the stage. And when he came out on the stage, the look on her eyes was wonder and blown away. And they hugged and embraced, and her makeup ran as the tears came down. And you watched her face in the embrace of her father, who she loved dearly, as if the tension, the walls, everything just kind of relaxed and let go. Like in an instant, in a moment, when she was in the embrace of her father. And it just reminds me that angel that maybe got set off on the wrong track in this world, or whatever has gone on, that needed to do what it needed to do to make it in this world, that at any moment that we are able to feel the embrace of the divine, that we can let go of the hardness that we have taken, because some of us have sold out on our divine purpose. Maybe we have said yes when we really meant no. Maybe we have compromised on our soul's purpose somewhere along the line, and we have sold ourselves for that which we weren't really intending to be in this world, but for whatever reasons or facts of our life had us be something that we were not, that we have forgotten that we are the angel, that we are the gift, that we are the blessing that is seeking to express itself in our world. What we need in this time of the year is preachers to not be so fiery talking about our damnation. We need them to be talking about our divinity. We need them to be talking about the presence and the gift that we are and the love that we are in this world. That's how you can be the sun in the constellation of your realm of influence that will continue to attract the people to the positivity of your being. You've got to remember your divine, impossible blueprint that has been placed in you, because it is possible. There are some who think about, the cup being, half full. Others who look at that cup as half empty. But what I want us to remember, at least you've got a cup. There are people who don't even have a cup that is out there. And so as we begin to remember the truth of our being, let's not leave ourselves out of the equation, and remember life is the greatest gift that we've been given. And that at any moment we can turn it around. We can choose really the spiritual route, which I want us to know it is a lot easier to believe in miracles and begin to go the spiritual route than to struggle in the human incarnation, which we're doing. But let us know that it is here for us to bring the gifts for which we have been charged. So don't let the adult or the grown-up that you've become deny you from looking out at Christmas Eve into the skies, because just maybe you will hear and see and sense and feel that wonderful voice that says you're divine, you're a light to the world, you're magnificent, you're wonderful, the child in which I am well pleased. Those that see you see me. You are the gift. God bless you. Hey, let's keep it going as we bring Margaret Owens back to our stage.
Now is the time when we gather together, sharing the glory, regardless the weather be blustery and cold or sunny and pleasant. We're here in this moment, and that is the present. The season of love is year round. It doesn't take sleigh bells or snow on the ground, just an open heart, letting your goodwill abound. The season of love is year round. Giving of yourself is the best gift of all, regardless the hour or the date on the wall. For the night is returning and fanning the embers of a heart that's forgotten and longs to remember. The season of love is year round. Doesn't take sleigh bells or snow on the ground, just an open heart, letting your goodwill abound. The season of love is year round. Ring out the bells, ding dong ding. The song in my heart sings, song sing. Tell of the blessings that flow around you. Proclaim your good, and it's bound to surround you. The season of love is here. Doesn't take sleigh bells, the snow on the ground, just an open heart, letting your goodwill abound. The season of love, love is year round.
That is Margaret Owens. Woo. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. Wow. Well, this is the season, and it abounds, and it's all about how we choose to believe and play in it, that's for sure. So we're just here to encourage you to have fun, experience the joy, to be that light, and just find out how fun that is. So I invite you to look within your heart. This is the moment in our service where we say, hey, this is time to share our gift, to support the community, to support Spirit's work that shows up as the community, and this community that is able to make a difference in this wonderful North County of San Diego, though it reaches to LA to the border. And I mean, just this last week or this last month or so, we've been accumulating bicycles. You heard that story last week. Over 250 bicycles we're bringing to the kids of this county who otherwise would not have it. You guys can feel good about that. You know, there are just amazing things that are happening. We are here for each other in this time. And so just know that your gift at this moment helps that be so today, you know, for this year, for the new year. And it's our I don't know, ancestors or the ones that went before us that have created this foundation upon which we stand. And it's just I love during the holidays to just remember the faces that may not be part of my world still, but once were. I mean, Wednesday night that's coming up, I'm going to do that a bit. But right now, this is a time we get to be that abundant spirit in action. So with that, I want to invite our ushers to come forward as we take our gift from our heart and our soul and know that this moment makes a difference, not only in our lives as being the activity of the abundant flow of life, but it makes a difference in many people's lives today and into the future. And you just can't outgive God. You get to be the activity Spirit is having in your life. You get to decide through your actions. It's not words. You know, it's not just the literature on the page. This is how it works. You've got to be Spirit in action. And so this is a moment that is between you and Spirit. I invite you to just listen to your heart as I share this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that this truly is a blessed moment where the fullness and the grace of God has its way as our action. For we become that clear transparency through which that affluent flow of life moves, enriching all aspects that are near and dear to our heart. As we honor Spirit in one place, we find it showing up in all places of our life, particularly those of concern. For the abundant flow of life just begins to take shape. It is just infinite in its possibilities. So with joy we give, and with joy we receive. And so we send this forth with a sense of feeling good, without the strings attached, just feeling good and supporting Spirit that's in our life. And so it is. Amen. Together, let us say this affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Those are your guys from Seaside. So as I stand before this bounty I can just feel the outpouring of love and caring and compassion. Oh, the love in which has been given is the love in which is received, is handled in good stewardship, and is continually put back out into the flow, bringing that love and that joy and that life expression and the positivity and all the well-being to the expanding constellation of the influence of the light from the giver. So with joy, we say thank you for this moment and our ability to experience the abounding good that comes through the wellspring of our being. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this opportunity, and so it is. Amen. All right. Hey, this is Edwin Robinson, board member here for years and years at Seaside. Probably working late last night here, too, huh? Place was set up perfect this morning when I got in at 6:30, so thank you for that. You're so good to us. Yeah. Margaret, you're so good to us, too. Thank you for swinging through here all these years and bringing your love and sparkle and your blessings. And Rebecca, what a joy it is always to share Sunday mornings with you. And it's fun. We're sculpting that candlelight service, with the friends. We got children's choir. We got Peggy's going to be singing again.
It's going to be a good time.
It is.
Absolutely. Everybody come.
Okay, you do that. It's Sunday, the 22nd this year.
Before Christmas. Yes, Sunday the 22nd.
That's it. All right.
Yeah.
And then you're gigging somewhere on Christmas Eve, right?
I am. I'm maybe at Rancho Valencia resort or hotel.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
good thing we
see
let you
that?
go, huh?
Yeah.
That's it. Hey, Rev Deb, it's so nice to have you back up on here. Reverend Debbie, just sharing her guidance and love and just guiding our office during the week, too. I appreciate that. Welcome home. We told you we saved you a seat right up there. Hey, Matthew, thank you for the sound. Marv, thank you for the visuals. Know that there are CDs available right after the service, but you know what? You don't have to buy a CD. You can go to Joyous Podcast and listen to it. You can actually have it delivered every week without even having to go to it. It'll just show up on your phone. So do that. It's in over 100 different countries right now. Thousands of people listen to it every week. It's a very positive light that shines out from Seaside. John Beethan, bless you for your vision and your gift of doing that week after week. For, 5 years now, you've never taken a cent to share that with the world. So bless you for your gift. Talk about being the gift. That is great. And our film crew, it's live streaming. It's on Facebook Live. It's on our people watch that through the course of the week. So what's going on here is making a difference. It's making impact in the world. So, and what goes on here during the week is fun. It's deep. It's enriching. Take a look at the program. You can see today after the service, there is a wonderful workshop that is being put together by the Years of Wisdom of Eileen Pierce, along with Reverend Catherine Bonin, in terms of the last stages of life. It's called Happy Endings, and it's taking care of those different pieces. And they've got it, it's a love offering. Right after service, grab some, I think they're having chili today, some food, and plan to be with them. So that's what's going on. And Ray, you got men's breakfast next Saturday, right? Okay, they better talk to you since it's at your house. Yeah. All right, that'll be good. So that's going on. Also next Saturday, Kay Samuelson's got a workshop on breath and sound that's happening. And then next Sunday, as you heard, we're doing this sacred exchange. So you artsy, craftsy individuals who have been creating because it is your love and your passion, we invite you to bring it, display it, and be open to whatever contribution comes, because 100% of those contributions are going to our teen group to help the kids go to camp. I think it's like $500 now for kids to go to camp for a few days. And so, every year somehow you guys come together. Last week you were buying $100 donuts. So they were only selling them for $1, but their generosity was there. So, but with that love, that's what Seaside is. It's love, it's caring, it's family. We've got events. That candlelight service will be fun. The solstice celebration on the 18th, the Seaside Sisters are trying to ritual up my Wednesday night a bit with Callie's touch. It will be beautiful. It always is. We've got Christmas Day dinner going on here, New Year's Eve, bowl burning. There's just a lot. There's no reason you need to be alone. This is your family, at least your spiritual family. Come and play with us. Bring your friends on the 22nd. It's fun. It's not a high, holy kind of solemn thing. It's fun. It's crazy. It's guys singing terribly. Well, who's going to be the partridge this year? It's like sitting in a living room, a family together. So, and I've already got the snowballs this year for tossing. See if we can have a little bit more interact. Anyway, I'm going to pray because I can get carried on. I just love this time of year. It's the time where I go, wow, blows my mind away. And so I invite all our practitioners to stand in this moment so we can feel the spiritual support that prays daily for this wonderful family and the members and the friends. I invite us to feel that vibration and that love and that dynamic expression, for God is love. It is a power, it is the first cause. Feel its touch and its blessing in this moment, for there is a divine movement taking place that is available to each and every one of us, that opens up to the very life force, to that first breath, that all initiating something that put that blueprint of being inside of us. For the blessings and the grace of God is upon you. Feel it and sense it and know that this is a divine moment. And it's in the unifying, it is the sensing, it's coming into alignment, it is resonating, vibrating with this frequency of truth and wholeness. Feel the divine touch in this moment and know that the presence of God moves through you. And when that movement is there, and there is room in the manger of consciousness, when there is room within the heart and the soul, Spirit clears out the rest. I don't need to tell this infinite intelligence what it needs to do with my life. I become available to the infinite wisdom of the presence of God. I begin to live under the law of the heavenly kingdom, where when I put Spirit first, all else is added. So creating the space for the divine addition. I find a joy showing up, a lightness, an ease, an abundance. For truly, that inner hunch, that inner creativity of Spirit brings with all the ways and the means to make your heart's desire possible. For living within this heavenly kingdom, this divine vibration where I and Spirit are one. There is no otherness. There just God is, I am. The abundance flows. The health expresses. Communication is clear. Those areas in which I may have sold myself out a little bit, I begin to take myself back. A little soul retrieval, always good for the soul. For the blessings and the grace of God is upon this moment. It's not something I need to persuade Spirit. I begin to create the space and recognize it's not what I can make happen. I become available for the grace that is happening, the good that is, the immortality that is, the life that is, the wholeness that is, that this body is what houses the Spirit that journeys through this dimension. And I know right now that as the Spirit makes itself right, comes into alignment with the Spirit, the soul, the body that cannot help but to line up. It purges out anything unlike itself. It doesn't need anything else. It knows how to cleanse this body of any condition, bringing it back into balance and weight, vibration and motion and movement. For the infinite wisdom is the very divine blueprint for which each of us has been given. And we recognize that we are the perfect vessel. We have been given this life to enjoy. And so with that comes the relationships that reveal soul lessons and understanding. And we find that these relationships in the holiday can be relationships of choice and family of choice and interactions of love and caring. And that the dynamics of choice can be fun. So bring into this light in this moment anything that might be of concern that you could be working on in your world, because that's part of being in this world. It's our soul's curriculum. So anything that has got the attention, bring into the light and let Spirit have it. Be that place where the abundant gift of God is experienced. It's done unto you as you believe. So the sense of gratitude for the good that is going on. Thankful for every prayer request that has been brought forth to our prayer request chest, that it is now answered. For Melinda Seeger, who's undergoing some surgical procedures. We know that right where she is, the presence of God moves perfectly. Her body responds exactly as it is intended to. That there's a calm, a healing that is going on. The presence of God continues to lift all of us here at Seaside into the light. That Seaside continues to be a growing, thriving positively healthy body, light of life, a spiritual community of caring and compassion that inspires us to live our divinity. I'm grateful for this thriving spiritual family. And so I say thank you. It's with a sense of appreciation for the good that is. Not thank you to anyone or anything. It's just living with a state of appreciation for the omnipresent good. And so I let go. Because I don't make it happen. I become available. I've created space in the manger of the mind. I begin to be more available for the abundance that is omnipresent. And so right here, right now, the good is. I say thank you for this. I let it go with an unshakable conviction and a belief in the divine right action that is having its way as the good in our life now. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was but now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you have to say. Seaside, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. 'Cause I'm only here for God. So no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on, Seaside, I want to hear you sing it. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's right. Beautiful. Say no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
And before our announcement, I just want to let you know, if you like Christmas caroling, Carrie Powell is lining up the Christmas carolers today after service. You guys get to go Christmas caroling. So Carrie's wearing the red shirt in the back corner. See him if you're interested. And by any chance, is Chris Bigson walking around here? If he is, point him on this way, because Chris, you maybe don't know, but he has been part of your life every Sunday at before 7 o'clock. He is here at Seaside setting things up, setting chairs, making this place perfect, making sure we have coffee. Easter, he's here at 4 a.m. and for 12 years, and we have watched his kids grow. We have baptized them. Reverend Grammy Tammy loved them up. We watched her daughter get married, and I keep talking, hoping he'd stick his head in here, but I want us to know he has made a choice that after 12 years, he wants to be home with his children, and so we honor that. We've got a wonderful new person come in, but I got a card I was going to give Chris. And but he's shy. He didn't want to stand up here, so he's hiding on us. So anyway, Joanne, would you hand this to Chris? Let him know we're loving him up and just telling him how much we appreciate him. And Cassie, who's coming up, is going to do a great job. So please give that to Chris. All right. Together, let us say, my life is filled with the gifts of God. Together, my life is filled with the gifts of God. Touch your heart like it's your truth. My life is filled with the gifts of God. One more time, like it is your truth. My life is filled with the gifts of God. And our song of praise.